Everything you've heard, as you should know, on the mainstream media has been a lie, but about what story? And did Trump just expose a secret plan for what would be called a golden exile? In a shocking presidential development that goes to tell a much larger story than just Trump, how it involves Zelensky, and none other, of course, than Joe Biden. A major story breaking, but nobody's connected the dots for you yet. I'm going to through proof, evidence, interviews, sound bites, and everything you need to make your own determination in just 1 minute. So are we simply in the calm before the storm? A much calmer Trump now, staying off the record a little bit more than he used to. But what if there was no storm? What if the storm didn't exist at all? And all you've been hearing, and I know you don't hear, thankfully, listen to mainstream media, because there's something much larger occurring right underneath everyone's noses. The proverbial dam is about to break, but the dam is the dam of the Democrats. And what happens when you have nothing else to stand on? Let's take AOC as an example. The representative who stated that ending slavery equates to electing Democrats, or the Allied victory against Nazi Germany should be used as the blueprint to defeat global warming, or, of course, as she accidentally stated here on Bernie Sanders' page, hello everyone, AOC here. We're going to flip this seat red in November. Oh, she's full of errors. There's a limitless amount we can cover. The debate to end, the debate to stop fossil fuel is over. We should stop it immediately. No plan in place. Not the fact that the vast majority of our country runs off fossil fuel. Let's just end it. So there would be no better example to illustrate how the dam is breaking other than appointing AOC launches bid to top Democrat on Oversight Committee. She wants to be the top Democrat on the powerful Oversight Committee. This is all they have left in their deck of cards, which is nothing. Here's her announcement officially, December 6th, just yesterday. This is not a position I take lightly. We must focus on the committee's strong history of both holding administrations accountable and taking on the economic precarity and inequality that challenges the American way of life. While this is, during Donald J. Trump's second term in the White House, is a profound and consequential one. No, you leading the House Oversight Committee is a profound decision. Because we must be balancing our focus on the incoming president's corrosive actions and corruption with the tangible fight to make life easier for the American working class. The same talking points, the same sound bites. The only reason she has this opportunity is because Raskin's going after Nadler's seat. Nadler has stepped back to say, okay, I endorse you too. Raskin and AOC is who this party is now developed into. Those are the last two standing. Well, so far. Don't worry, we'll hear a lot from the Democrats, but it develops a lot further than this. Because when your dam breaks and you have nothing to stand on, you have no accomplishments to speak of, just do a quick analysis of the Biden administration. What was accomplished successfully? I could wait here all day, but we got to keep moving through the broadcast. And then your representative that you picked to run for president was none other than Kamala Harris, of course. As her videos diminish, there's still some gems that you shouldn't miss.
It's going to be an important year next year. And I know that's part of what the conference has been about, to think about how we are going to use the limited resources we have to serve the greatest number of people and to
how we are going to use the limited amount of resources we have coming from the candidate who spent $1.5 billion for one of the worst election results ever. Oh, it gets far worse. Merely the tip of the iceberg. Don't listen to the donors who are saying, you know what? You should be disqualified forever for how much you spent and how much you wasted. We can go through all the details of that, but the Democrats are out of touch. And those in the world are watching. because they realize they won't have a foothold to fight against the Donald J. Trump administration. And because of that, something very large is now exposed. This golden exile we're about to get to. But how out of touch are the Democrats? Outgoing DNC chair says identity politics should remain central message after a landslide loss. None other than Jamie Harrison stating that. Did you watch the same election we watched? Did you see the same results that we saw, and you think that identity politics should stay front and center? Even the Hill admitting Democrats' hard 2024 lesson, demographic change and identity politics aren't enough. There's going to be so many developments that occur over this administration. Lisa and I are going to work day and night to bring them all to you. Make sure you're subscribed to Lisa's channel. She'll put a link to mine above. Love you to subscribe there also. I hope you know about the platform we created. Very special Christmas deal today. Christmas 24 monthly checkout. It's going to get you $3.99 a month for 1 year. $3.99 a month. You could still cancel anytime via your dashboard, plus 14 days for free. We really need you there. Your support is what keeps these broadcasts coming. There you get no commercials, no interruptions, our entire catalog of videos, no matter where we publish them, on top of the exclusive content only there. Again, using Christmas code, Christmas24, $3.99 a month for 12 months. It would mean the world to both of us. We worked extremely hard to assure you had a platform. So you didn't get all the notifications. You don't need them. We try to cover every single major news story. No sports, no fluff. Just hard-hitting news referenced and researched at all times. We'd love you to get there today. Again, Christmas 24 monthly checkout, $3.99 a month for 12 months. It's going to be very limited time, obviously, just through the holidays. Make sure you get there today. But now let's get back to this broadcast. I was going to give you all the Karine Jean-Pierre clips, but there's something more important brewing. So I'll leave you with the last one because she got lambasted about this blanket pardon they're discussing, these preemptive pardons they're discussing. A story we brought to you many days ago, mainstream media just catching up. I'm going to leave you with this one last clip.
Are preemptive pardons on the table of President Bush?
I'm just not going to. I'm not going to get ahead of the president. Certainly, the president is looking at, reviewing next steps, and there will be more to come. I'm just not going to get ahead of the president. I'm not
So it is confirmed, as we said it would be confirmed. I can't tell you how many comments I got. He'll never do it. Seriously, you don't think he will? When you have done nothing, accomplished nothing, have nothing to stand on, your dam's about to break, your representation has left, the American people have given you no mandate, do you really think they'll look by it? Biden's considering preemptive pardons for officials and allies before Trump takes office. That's on the AP. Is that enough? New York Opinion article coming out. Trump's FBI pick has an enemies list. Biden should pardon everyone on it. More validation of what we reported to you. Adam Schiff, Paul Ryan, Bill Barr, Chris Wray, Lloyd Austin, Mark Esper, Cassidy Hutchinson, Biden, Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton. All on the list of people they are asking to be preemptively pardoned for things they have not been charged for yet. CBS News coming out, taking the list even further, of course, and confirming further that White House Chief of Staff Jeffrey Zients and White House Counsel Ed Siskel are in discussions, rigorous discussions among the administration to convince Biden to do so. And make sure you include Fauci, Milley, and Adam Schiff along with Liz Cheney. Again, they have nothing to stand on. This looks so guilty. I can't express it enough. I lost my mind 2 days ago about this article, but it leads into the bigger article because they have a bigger problem. Republicans just won a permanent Senate majority. You heard the reports on this? They've lost it all. Kamala Harris's defeat was damaging to the left, but her losses overshadowed the true scope of the damage wrought on the Democratic Party, the permanent loss of the Senate. This coming from the Hill. Democrats have lost the Senate before, but this loss is different from 2014. This time it may be for good. For the first time in a century, there is not one Democratic senator from a reliable red state. We have entered an era of one-party rule, at least where the Senate is concerned. Today, the Senate map mirrors the national electoral divide. Democratic senators in blue states, Republican senators in red states, and swing states up for grabs. That's grim news for the Democrats. Simply put, there are more red than blue states. For decades, Democrats relied on popular Democratic senators in deep red states, for example, Tom Daschle in South Dakota, Blanche Lincoln in Arkansas, Louisiana, Claire McCaskill in Missouri, John Tester in Montana, all gone. The final nationalization of the Senate in 2024 was with the ousting of Tester and Sherrod Brown in Ohio, and the retirement of Joe Manchin in West Virginia shifts the path to Democratic Senate majority entirely to blue and purple states. This makes the Democrats' task nearly impossible. And why is that so important? Because the leaders of the world are watching. And they're changing now what they're doing. So has it all been a lie? All these articles coming out of the mainstream machine. Is World War III already here? Newsweek has World War III already begun. The Mirror, I'm a military expert. World War III is already here. Independent, how Europe is preparing for a third world war. Why are they resonating that so loudly? And now why would the world listen to them when we taught you not to? Because without it, everything would change. What if there is no storm? What if the world has seen the progress that Donald J. Trump has made, and because of that now exposed something far larger, including a secret plan for golden exile? I'll paint the picture for you. Trump exposes this through his power move. Thankfully, through his quiet, through calls being made that no one's discussing. And there's nothing Biden can do about it. I know. He could take absolute insane action, but the odds are slim. So slim that there's a report on Zelensky that so few are discussing right now. It will tell you everything you need to know, but Tucker Carlson's the one who helped to highlight so much of this. As you see here, is the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, a longtime staple of Vladimir Putin. But the words within the interview highlight a picture that the mainstream media isn't talking to you about. That's what Tucker Carlson does such an amazing job about. I'm going to play 4 independent clips, and then we're going to finalize this story.
Do you believe the United States and Russia are at war with each other right now?
I wouldn't say so. And in any case, this is not what we want. We would like to have normal relations with all our neighbors, of course, but generally with all countries on earth, especially with the great country like the United States.
That doesn't seem to align with what we've been hearing on mainstream media now, does it? Something must be happening behind the scenes. Something called Donald J. Trump, of course, but this interview goes on.
So what I think you're saying is American policymakers imagine there could be a nuclear exchange that doesn't directly affect the United States, and you're saying that's not true.
That's what I said, yes. Professionals in deterrence, nuclear deterrence policy, they know very well that it's a very dangerous game. And to speak about a limited exchange of nuclear strikes is an invitation to disaster.
Once again, not in line with mainstream media headlines whatsoever. See, I want to send you through this weekend, just relaxing a little bit, taking a deep breath, getting you away from the mainstream media track of discussion, this continual talk of WW3, as they so like to call it.
The key principle is no non-block status of Ukraine, and we would be ready to be part of the group of countries who would provide collective security guarantees to
no
Ukraine.
NATO.
No NATO, absolutely. No military bases. No military exercises on the Ukrainian soil with participation of foreign troops.
Because most countries, like us, should be concerned that nations that border us should not have enemy bases just sitting on the other side of our border, and it's the same thing Russia has pushed for. Their position's clear on NATO. No NATO in any nation that borders us. Now, well, what about Finland? I know. He speaks on that.
We have been very friendly with Finland, for example. Overnight, the Finns came back to early years of preparation for World War II, when they were best allies of Hitler, and all this neutrality, all this friendship, going to sauna together, playing hockey together, all this disappeared overnight.
One thing you have to give Russia is their consistency on their position against NATO. Of course, my position on NATO is not very different. I'm very curious as to see how Trump handles this. My tax dollars going to fund NATO when other nations do not do in-kind funding will always be an issue. And Russia stood resolute on this. But Russia, again offering Trump a slight olive branch here, stating they know exactly what the Biden administration is doing. But now Russia offering, again, Trump an olive branch, saying they know exactly what the Biden administration is doing and why you're hearing it resonated throughout the mainstream media.
It's obvious, though, that Biden administration would like to leave legacy to the Trump administration as bad as they can.
Yes.
And similar to what Obama did to Trump during his first term, when late December 2016, Obama expelled Russian diplomats.
Again, doesn't fit with the narrative you've been hearing. Russia's cognizant that Trump and his power is coming into office. They can avert a nuclear war, as every sound nation should want to. There is no good outcome. To think that Russia would believe there can be a positive outcome, in my opinion, is a grand underestimation. And so, on this interview with Tucker Carlson, clearly stating they know who the trouble is. They know who the inbound president is. They have set the limits. And then coincide this with an article just 2 days ago. Ukraine ready to hold elections immediately after just peace is achieved, aka the war is over. Head of the presidential office said Ukraine is ready to hold elections immediately after the war with Russia ends. Looking at the reality, the president, Volodymyr Zelensky, said that after a just peace is established, he will be ready to immediately move to proper democratic elections in our country. Great, if you were still president. But if you were making plans, or someone was making plans with you for a golden exile, then do you already know the outcome? And then why would our U.S. government continue to attempt to fund you and send more armament to you if a golden pardon or golden exile, I apologize, is already in the works? Zelensky's golden exile in London, a path to peace. Western countries are reportedly preparing a golden exile for President Volodymyr Zelensky in London following a peace agreement in Russia's war against Ukraine, according to the Spanish newspaper El Mundo, which cites rumors circulating among Ukrainian diplomats. The newspaper claims the Ukrainian diplomats believe Zelensky is expected to be sent to London while Ukraine gears up for the presidential and parliamentary elections, aka he will no longer be president. They will cede territories to Russia. The only linchpin is that the remaining Ukrainian territories do not join NATO. Without the force of Trump behind all of this, none of this would have been exposed. This is how the global machine works, through hints, through secret plans, through covert means, to send a message to you, the American, that World War III? Come on. Russia knows exactly what an exchange of nuclear armaments will mean for all nations. And now, because and in thanks of Donald J. Trump, it appears the brake pedal is not only being covered, it's being slightly depressed until he gets into office. So don't fall for all the mainstream media news headlines. The story is far deeper and more intricate than, in my humble opinion, they are capable of covering like we are. But that is why we created the platforms we did, to continue to bring you a more balanced look at what's actually happening and how the gears are moving in the global conflict that the mainstream media wants you to believe is imminent, because it keeps the stories coming, doesn't it? To admit that Trump's able to resolve all of this ends even another prong in their continual attacks on the great republic of the United States of America. God bless America. God bless you. Thank you all for being here today. On behalf of Lisa Haven and myself, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.